The part we've been waiting for, the books. So we have over 2,000 titles. I'm not going to be able to show you all of them, but I want to show you some tidbits. So if you're familiar with Usborne, this is the part where you see books you have, see some new ones. If you aren't familiar, here's our great books. So we go from birth all the way up to high school. Even I enjoy some of the science books. I read them because they're awesome and they're designed to captivate the kids, bring them in.
Okay, so here are some of our great books. So we're going to start over here with our babies. So from babies on up, just a couple of our highlighted ones. That's Not My series is so adorable with some touch and feels on every page. It's all high contrast so the babies can focus in on it and just love looking at all the colorful pictures. That's Not Mine all the way to the end when you find out that's my prince for this one. His crown is so sparkly. Kids like the repetition. Over here is another touch and feel book with high contrast. This is actually my baby's favorite. Kind of see there's a touch and feel on every page on that one. There's the That's Not My Frog. These color playbooks have been fun. They're new this year, well, about a year or two now. A couple catalogs, couple flaps, but lots in touch and feels, finger plays, cutouts, and contrast as well. Brand new to this catalog are Slide and Seas, which are super fun for the little ones. So those are the touch and feels and slide and seas. Then we're going to move up to noisy books. We have smaller ones and the big ones, and you can always change the battery out, but they're pleasant noises. This is a digging book. The orchestra book is a lot more pleasant sounding and fun. There's also the nursery rhymes book too. So moving on up to our reading series. So our very first reading series is how I taught my son how to read. I'm working with my daughter now. She's on the second book. And what it is it's parent-child reads. Comes with a booklet, tells you exactly how to teach them, what you're doing, just a couple of the words and the letters that they have to know in order to start that book. So it's parent-child reads. The parent reads over here, the child reads down here. And there's only about 7 letters that they have to know before they start the very first book. And then there's another 7 that they need to know the sounds for to start the second book. And you go all the way through to the end when your child is reading the whole book. Actually, they start reading the whole book themselves around the 7th or 8th book. So just super fun stories, hardback set, which is a wonderful investment if you want to teach your child to read at home, which is wonderful. Then we have also parent-child reads. This is our Farmyard Tales, split into manageable chapters to read. It's also split into parent-child reads when your child starts reading. But they're great for 2 years old on up because there's a hidden duck on every page. See if you can see that. And then on this page, if you can see where the duck is, keeps the 2-year-olds looking. And there's not very much words on the page. They're totally enthralled with the story and they're looking for that duck. Lots of little chapters, great for bedtime or those 15 minutes of reading every day that is recommended. That's a perfect one. We also have the fairy tales that's split into parent-child reads with the hidden duck as well. And we also have a Bible stories book like that. Again, for your reader or pre-reader, I also recommend the Ted and Friends. It does come with a CD, and there's 12 stories in it, but it's all about phonetic read. So Big Pig on a Dig, Frog on a Log, all of those kinds of books. There's hidden ducks on every page as well. So again, lots in one book with a CD, which is great, and also this one comes with the CD too. Those are one of our biggest sellers, Farmyard Tales and Ted and Friends. Then, for those older kids, 4 and up, we have our Look Inside books, which are just wonderful and filled with so much information, lots of flaps. We have these in many different kinds. So this is the World one. We have a body book. We have so many different ones. You can search Look Inside or See Inside is for the older version. A little bit older, 7 and up, even though all ages will love to look at the bigger See Inside books, which is similar, very similar. Then we move over here. We have our science books, our little science readers in all different kinds. This is our beginner reader science books. Lots of manageable information with pictures that are just enthralling. So these are the books that I enjoy sitting down and reading. We have our science experiment books. We also then go to our big books. This is an example of our big book. This is one of those books that you just want to go down, elbows up, and just dig into the book. And that's what the kids do. It just fills the floor. They read all about, this one's all about the solar system. And it just gets huge on the ground. They just eat it up. Because books have a lot of competition these days between TV and shows and everything. This is one of our illustrated books. We have several of these. Lots more to come out too, but classics. This one has Wizard of Oz, Around the World in 80 Days, fun pictures, manageable reading. I read this to the children, but they would start to be able to read it around first or second grade quite easily. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a squishy book, which I love. It's that bedtime storybook. Then we have our sticker activity books, which are super fun and wonderful at restaurants, doctor's offices, all of those. Fun pictures and stickers galore to decorate them with. So have the type like this where they actually have the scene and the child gets to put them on. This is what my son has been loving. It's about ancient Egypt and mummies. And it also has very good information about that time and what was happening. So these are so fun. We have robot sticker books, trains, trucks, all sorts of those. So that's really fun. Then I'm going to switch over to our Kane Miller books. Our Kane Miller books are award-winning picture books mostly, but just some fun ones. Here's one. This is called Muddle Match. We have 4 different ones like this. Pete, the plucky pirate, pleads with Percy, his peculiar parrot, to prepare to paddle the Pacific. It's a mouthful. And then you go over, and then once you go through them, you can mix them and match them and have some fun with that. It's a fun one, Muddle Match. We also have Animal-y. It's a beautiful book. It's a hardback book with thick pages. It's all about loving your family. I love you hugely like a whale. I love you shyly like a quail. I love you cleverly like a fox. And it goes all the way through to the very end when it says, I love you birdily, buggily, animally. I love you so, for you're my family. That's a brand new book. Animal-y should be on everyone's list. It's so sweet. Also, that's when we get to all of our chapter books. We have our Hey Jack chapter book. This is your first chapter book, 50 words to a page with a little bit of drawings, but it's wonderful that for that kindergartner or first grade, first reading chapter books. And go all the way up to the Jack Russell series, A Dog Detective. It's lower elementary reading level. Motorbike Bob. This is the Pet Vet Detective books. That's a good one for middle to late elementary. Wheel Nuts just came out, and this is a full color, beautiful book. First grade, it's lower elementary as well, up to 3rd, 4th grade. Just a beautiful, fun book, engages the kids, again, for a love for reading. Then we get to our wonderful science and informational books. If you've never seen the inside of these are great. We have submarines, tanks, all sorts of informational books. You can search for the older, again, it's bite-sized information with beautiful pictures, draws them in, and they love it. I want to point out, last but not least, our internet-linked books. So whenever you see internet-linked, or you can search it on my website, there is going to be boxes throughout the book that says there's an internet link for this page. So this page is about the Okavango Delta, which my husband would be able to say better. But if you go onto my website, there's a safe link that you have a drop down for the title of the book and then the page numbers. And it'll tell you, you'll go to websites like the Smithsonian websites, museum websites, safe websites, that would tell you more about that book, about that page of that book. So, for example, I was looking at one that was about space, and I went to the drop down, and it actually took me on a tour of a space shuttle. So it's awesome if you have want to go through a page a day, because they're split into manageable information. Each page is different. If you did a page a day and then the internet links that were related, your child would be learning so much and be enthralled with that, about science especially, which I love. We have tons of homework helpers, illustrated dictionary for math and sciences, physics, biology, all of those great high school helpers, and even those of us who are not in high school anymore. Children's Encyclopedia also is internet linked and manageable information. Just great to have around the house. So what's your 5-year-old doing? Oh, he's just looking at the encyclopedia. Learning lots. So we have so many books. This is just a taste of them. That's why you have me. So I am here to help you find the book that fits your needs and my favorites, and I can tell you. So don't be afraid to comment. Ask me, tell me the ages, the genre, kind of what you're looking for. If you have any specific needs, I'm happy to help. That's why I'm here. So see you on the Facebook.